Hey, how's it going, guys? Part 2 of my little packing project before my flight. So before I was talking about cotton shirts for travel, and I was talking about how I would go personally with a longer sleeve cotton shirt, just for the fact that when you're walking in a hot country, and then I've noticed this actually when I was in Brazil and when I was in Spain and when I was in Thailand, is the fact that all hot countries, the hotter it is, the colder they turn the air conditioning. And this is a universal law. You'll walk and it's 105 degrees outside, and then when you sit inside a taxi cab or walk into a shopping mall, it is freezing cold. And you can get sick that way. It's actually kind of similar to how they tell you to layer up when you're going outside when it's cold. I would recommend, as weird as it sounds, to wear a long sleeve shirt in a hot country and just roll up the sleeves, because you'll have the option of rolling the sleeves back down when you get inside of a taxi cab. A lot of people I've seen, especially backpackers, get sick from that, going between it being hot outside and then having this freezing air conditioned environment. It confuses your body, and a lot of people end up catching like small colds and stuff. So something to pay attention to when you're traveling. And all those clothes will be going into one of these compression sacks. Different people have different opinions about these. Some people don't like them. They think that they actually take more bulk. I like this because clothes take up a lot of space, and most of that space is actually airspace, and you want to squeeze that out so you can fit it inside of your pack. There are different brands for compression sacks or compression bags. I don't know the name of this particular one. I got it in Target, I believe. It came in a pack of 3 for $12. Seriously, you only really need one, because you're only going to carry your clothes in one place. And this is a cheaper kind. In fact, I have another one from the same pack. And this particular one I carry with me all for about 9 months. And as you can see, it's been ripped up, and I had to use duct tape to seal the sides. So basically what happens is you put the clothes in, and you close this top here like a Ziploc bag, and then you roll it up, and all the air comes out here from the bottom of the bag, and you're able to compress your clothes. This one kind of broke in the middle of my trip, so I just used duct tape. Duct tape actually isn't airtight, but I used it anyways because all I needed to do was to get it compressed enough so that I could fit it into my bag, and then I could just leave it because the bag would hold the shape of the thing. So this is the cheap kind. I would probably recommend going to a place like REI and just spending like the 10 or 12 bucks for the one good compression sack, because it'll be made of a heavier weight, more durable plastic. This feels kind of thin, whereas the ones that I've seen at REI tend to be a thicker mylar. So I'm probably going to pack all this stuff, all these clothes, into this bag right here. And for this trip, I'm going to be using the Kelty Red Wing 2900, which I reviewed in a previous video, because I just got this bag and I haven't used it yet, so I'm going to test it out in Thailand. If I find anything that I do or do not like about it, I'll edit the video and the review for it. So I'm going to be putting all of my clothes into here. In addition to the clothes, I recommend that you buy a stuff sack. Use a permanent marker to write your name on it, by the way. And a stuff sack is just a nylon sack with a drawstring cord. It is non-water permeable, which means whatever's wet that's inside, it's not going to leak out of the bag, and vice versa. Whatever you put in the bag, it's not going to get wet as long as it doesn't go through the hole at the top. And stuff sacks are great. You can use it for a variety of things. I mostly use it for clothes that get wet or dirty. So dirty laundry go in the stuff sack, and then at the end of the day when I need to do laundry, I'll just haul the sack over to like a sink and just like scrub stuff. Or if I just pulled something out of a washing machine and I don't have access to a dryer, I'll stick it in the stuff sack and then bring it with me to hang out somewhere else. So it's good to have at least one of these, and they don't really take up any room, they don't really weigh anything, so just buy one of these, fold it up, leave it inside a pocket in your bag, and you'll never know when you might need it. I would recommend getting a brighter color for this, just because it's the opposite of a backpack. You want the outside of the backpack to be dark because you don't want to stand out, but you want things on the inside, like the interior of the backpack and stuff that goes inside, to be a bright color, because you want it to stand out, so that way when you're packing it's easy to see. Especially if you're in a hostel, you want your stuff to stand out from other people's stuff as you're kind of gathering your things and getting ready to take off. So that's that. In addition to that, So I'll be putting the clothes in this area, in this compartment. Right here, the pouch where a person would normally put a hydration pouch, I use it as a valuables pocket. And in there, I put this little organizer. Now you can get these at any drugstore for $2 to $3, and basically it's just a pencil case that you stick in a 3-ring binder, and it has a zip top. Now you'll see the kind that have like a Ziploc kind of fastener. Don't get those. Every one that I've tried has broken. I would highly recommend using the zipper. It's a lot more durable, and it's a lot more convenient to open and close. It's a lot quicker. So get that. And again, get one of these pouches in a bright color so it stands out. So the reason I would recommend getting one of these pouches is you can keep your flat valuables in here. So before you take off on your trip, what you want to do is you want to go to a copy machine or a scanner and scan the main page of your passport and the front and back of your license and your debit card and your credit card. And the reason for that is, in case you lose those documents while you're traveling, you can have some sort of proof for when you go to your embassy to prove that you are who you say you are, and then that way you can move along in the process of getting replacements sent to you. If you don't have access to a printer, scanner, or anything like that, what you can do is take a digital camera and take a high-resolution picture of it. If you don't feel like carrying hard copy documents on you, you feel like this might get stolen and you think someone might go through your bag, what you can do also is take the digital image either from your camera or from your scanner and email it to yourself. That way you'll always have access to it. All you have to do is go to an internet cafe, access your Hotmail or Gmail account, and just print it off, and then you'll have access to that. So I do both. I carry a copy of it, which I can't show here, and I also email a copy to myself just for security's sake. So for this, I would put that document. I've got my packing list, which I should have started this video with. I always have a packing list. This one's been refined over 2 years, actually. I've added and taken away items that I've found that I've needed or found that I didn't need while traveling. So, I mean, always have a packing list and always start off with that because it makes sure that you don't forget anything when you're doing your packing. So I usually put my packing list inside of a little pencil pouch when I'm done, but I always start off with this. If you're flying on a particular airline and exclusively on that airline and you have an open-ended ticket, if you open up the magazine, the in-flight magazine that comes with your airline, I'm flying on United, in the back they'll have a map that shows all the routes that they fly. So, I mean, I would recommend you just rip that out of the in-flight magazine and take that with you if you're flying with a particular airline or group of airlines. So that way, if you need to rearrange your flights, you don't have to go online and keep looking. You have a visual representation of all the places you can go or change flights for. So that would go in here as well. Sewing kit, just because. Ruler, just because. The packing list in here. Glue stick, just because I like to keep all the ticket stubs and vouchers and little pieces of paper that I collect from museums and concerts and stuff, and I just like make a little scrapbook in my journal, so I'll always keep that in here, which actually brings me to, when you're traveling, I highly recommend bringing a journal and a novel to read. Most people, especially me, I love bringing more books than I can possibly read, but it just takes discipline. Just find one book that you know you're going to definitely read, and that'll be your source of entertainment when you're traveling. And bring a journal, even if you don't feel like writing it, because you never know, you might have to write down people's information, email addresses, phone numbers, and stuff like that. And with the glue stick, I just copy and paste different things and make like a little scrapbook, and then at the end of my trip I just have like a stack of books with little drawings and notes and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool to like go over that a couple of years down the line. So there's that. Also, I would recommend going to your local store and buying a bunch of envelopes and take some standard A4 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper, fold them up, and have them already pre-inserted inside the envelopes. Postcards are fine. I like getting postcards from friends, but I prefer to write letters. It's just kind of an old-fashioned thing that I got into I mean, it's just kind of nice for people to get letters, so always a nice thing. And a couple of pictures that you can take along during your trip, and then you can use those as postcards and put stamps on them. Well, wow, I'm out of time. I'm going to have to do a part 3. Just keep talking. All right.